Hi crocheters of the world. In this tutorial I want to show you the corner to corner technique that worked with the triple crochet. And why? Because I just thought that the technique is really nice and easy to work and colorful, and we can work so many things. But working with the double crochet and working the squares with 3 double crochets, you know, chain 3 and so on, it gives us a very solid work, okay? And we can work it in square shape, rectangular shape, or triangular shape. And this is very good for blankets, I don't know, pillows and so on. But if we want to work blouses or shawls, rectangular shawls or triangular shawls, we need something more, I don't know, more something lighter, a texture that is light and soft. For this, I thought it would be really nice to to work the same technique but with the triple crochet. And this is the difference. Here I'm working on a project that I want to make to do a tutorial, but I don't want to reveal you anything else for now. Just to show you the idea, just to show you how it looks. Worked with the triple crochet and with the double crochet. So let's get started. It's exactly the same thing, okay? Only that we will work with the triple crochet. So because we work with the triple crochet, we will begin with 8 chains. Okay? And instead of 3 double crochets, we will work 4 triple crochets. Let's get started with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chains. Yarn over twice and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and into the 5th chain from the hook work your first triple crochet, and we have 3 chains more left unworked. So in these 3, in each of them we will work 1 triple crochet. So we will have our square with 4 triple crochets instead of 3 double crochets, as you know, the corner to corner. Now this is what we have. This is our square that will make our work, so we will compose our project. It's a square made with 4 triple crochets and we have the chain 4. Now to begin, we know that each of our corner to corner technique project begins with a part of increases and finish with a part of decreases. If you want a square, if you want a rectangle, begins with a part of increase for the width, okay, of our project. Depends of what we want to do. Then continue on with the length, and at the end with the decreases to finish the project, of course. If we want to work only a triangular shawl, we just go on with the part of increases. Okay, to increase, we always begin a row with a chain of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. yarn over twice, count 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the 5th chain from the hook work your first triple crochet, then we have 3 more triple crochets to work into our 3 chains that we have here left. 1, 2, 3 and 4. And now we have actually this flying, I will call it flying square, because it's actually the square that gives us the increase. And this flying square, we have it here, and we want to turn our work, which is this one, and to insert the hook into the chain 4 and to slip stitch. And now we are ready to work our square here on the chain 4 space. So we will chain 4, and into the chain 4 we'll work 4 triple crochets. So it's 4, 4, 4. 3 and 4. Okay. Now again, as I said before, each of our increasing row begins with a flying square. So, which means that we will chain 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yarn over twice, count 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the 5th chain from the hook work your first triple crochet, yarn over twice and into the next 3 chains left unworked, work 3 more triple crochets for your first square, increasing square, which is a flying square. Why flying? Because it's like this. As you can see, it's something really okay. Now we just have to turn our work. So we turn our work and we insert the hook into the chain 4 of the last square worked of the previous row and slip stitch to join our increasing square, flying square. Okay. And now we just go on and work in each of our chain 4, and we have 1 and 2, 1 square. So let us begin with chain 4. One, 2, 3, and 4 triple crochets for our square. Insert the hook into the next chain 4 of the next square of the previous row and slip stitch to join. Now chain 4 again and work 4 more triple crochets into the chain 4 space for another square. And as you can see, we are increasing from 1 square that we had into the very first row. Now we have exactly, let's see, we have exactly 3. Can you see? And these can be our triangular shapes. So we just go on working at the beginning of each row 1 flying square, which means chaining 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yarn over twice, count 5 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and into the 5th chain from the hook work your first triple crochet, and into the remaining 3 chains work 3 more triple crochets to complete your first square, your increasing square or flying square, or as you wish to call it. The important thing is to understand the importance of this flying square to increase. Okay, and here we have. Now we will just turn our work, and as you can see, when we turn our work, we just have our flying square here, and we insert the hook into the chain 4 of the last square worked into the previous row, and we slip stitch to join, and we begin another row, and we will work 1, 2, 3. We will work 3 more squares because we have 3 squares and 3 chain 4 spaces. With the flying square, which is my increasing square, I will have 4. And this is how we increase. And this is how you can work a beautiful triangular shawl with any kind of yarn. Just one more thing I want to tell you. Use a larger hook than the hook that is written on your label, yarn label, to obtain a very, very soft and nice shawl. Okay, and now this is how, as I said, this is how we increase, and for the triangular shawl it's just perfect. But if we want to make maybe a blouse, and we want to obtain a square, how we have to do? And this is my 4th double crochet, and this is what I have. Okay, and now again the flying square, and with the flying square plus 1, 2, 3, 4 we will have 5, and so on. Okay, and this is the increasing part. Just one more thing I want to tell you first, and this is that when we are increasing, so for the increasing part we are determine actually our width, the width of our project. So with one side of actually the triangle, for now we are determining the width of our project as width as we want it. Okay, now let's go on to the decreasing part. So let's say that this is the width that we want for our project, and we want the project to be square. So we want to close it, okay? So to transform it into a square. And to transform it into a square, we want to decrease these parts. So from these 4, we will have just 1 again. We won't work the flying square. We will just turn our work, skip the very first triple crochet, and insert the hook into the next, work a slip stitch. Into the next, work a slip stitch. This is the second. Into the next, work a slip stitch, and into the chain 4 space, work a slip stitch. And this is how we decrease. And now we want to begin with our first square, so chain 4 and work 4 triple crochets into the chain 4 space of the last square worked into the previous row. 3, 4. Okay, now insert the hook into the next chain 4 space and continue on with another square, so with another group of 4 triple crochets. 2, 3, and 4. Again, slip stitch into the next chain 4 space and work each chain of 4, and into the chain 4 where you slip stitched, work 4 triple crochets. So as you can see, we have 4, 4, 4. Okay, 3 and 4. And for the decrease part, we just want to stop here. So insert the hook into the chain 4, and normally we went on working another square into this chain 4, but now we just want to stop here. So we will stop at the same level at the square, last square of the previous row is. So here it is my last square, and here it is my last square worked of this row. So it's here that I want to stop. And as you can see, I have 1, 2, 3. So from 4 squares, I have 3 squares. Now, to decrease in each of our rows, we will begin with slip stitched the very first square. And to begin here to work. So we will work 1 and 2, and we will stop here. Okay. As for the increasing part, we always began the row with a flying square. Now we begin the row with a decrease, which means we slip stitched the very first square, and we don't work the last square here into the chain 4. So let us begin turning our work and slip stitched. We skip the first triple crochet of the square and we slip stitch into the next, then into the next, into the next, and into the chain 4. And actually we have 4 slip stitched now, and it's perfect. Chain 4 and work your square. 3 and 4 triple crochets, slip stitch into the chain 4 of the next square, chain 4, and work 4 triple crochets into the chain 4 where you slip stitched. 3 and 4. And now, as you can see, we stop at the same level as the last square of the previous row is. So here we slip stitch and we stop here. Okay, so we are forming these sides of the square too. Now we have just one more square to work, so we want to turn our work and to insert the hook to slip the first triple crochet of the square and to slip stitch into the next 3 and into the chain 4. So it's difficult, really difficult to go wrong with the decrease, even if you have a large shawl or blanket or what you have. It's difficult because you have to stop at the same level as the last square of the previous row is. So it's really difficult to go further. Okay. Now, again, chain 4 and work your four triple crochets and slip stitch. And here it is. Our square is ready. Okay, now the next part is how to obtain the length. So how to go on working a rectangular shape. Now here I have again my triangular shape, and from here I want to show you how to go on and to create your length. So if you want to make a rectangular shawl or scarf or anything else, a rectangular shape, you can just combine the increasing part with the decreasing part to create it. So I want to stop here with my width. So let's say that this is the width that I need. And I want to just make growing up in length my project. So I will begin with a decrease. Each time you want to go on with a rectangular corner to corner, you will begin. So when you decide to stop increasing, so the width is perfect, you will begin with a decrease. Okay, and this will be the decrease part. Okay, now to begin with a decrease, we just turn our work, skip the first and slip stitch through the next 3 triple crochets and into the chain 4 space, and we just want to go on and work our squares that we have here. Okay, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now I will just go on a little bit faster because this part, it's really, I explained it, so I can just work my squares. And as I said before, to grow in length with the corner to corner technique, we have to keep the same number of squares, of course, and to do this we begin one row with a decrease and one row with a increase. So this is the row that I began with a decrease, sorry. And you can see that I am at the same level already. Now I am at the same level here, but this is the part that I want to begin the other row with an increase. So this will be the increase part of my project. So I will work into the chain 4 space, the last chain 4 space, one square. You know that if you want to decrease, we don't work into this chain 4 space, we just stop at the same level, 3 and 4. And now I am ready to begin with an increase. As I said before, this will be the increase part and this will be the decrease part. So here we will always begin with an increase and here we will always begin with a decrease. So let us begin with a increase. Our next row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So as you can see, we just have the same number of squares, 4, 4 and 4. And now we just want to maintain the same number of squares by increasing and decreasing. So 1, wait a minute, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Into the 5th is at the hook, work double crochet and 3 more to complete your flying square. And because we have one side with increase, one side with decrease, we will increase in each of our second row and decrease in each of our second row. So this was the first row with decrease, this is the second row with the increase. So let us turn our work and insert the hook into the chain 4, and we increased because we have here the square that we added. And as you can see, on the part of with the decrease, we will stop at the same level that we have just created here with the first decrease. which means that we will work 1, so we have chain 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and we will stop here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 and 4, yarn over twice, and let us work our triple crochets for the first square, the second actually, 3 and 4, then skip into the next chain 4, chain 4, and work into the same chain 4 that you slip stitched 4 triple crochets, 2, 3 and 4. Now again insert the hook here into the chain 4, and we will work our last square, because as you can see with this square we just are at the same level of the rest of our square on this side. This means that this is where we have to stop. Okay, so here into the chain 4 we slip stitch, but we don't want to continue on because this is a decreasing part, so we have to maintain the same level of the squares. And here is the increasing part. So can you see, we are growing in length, but we maintaining the same number of squares, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we finish the row, this row, on the decreasing part, which means that we will begin with a decrease. So when we finish the row on the increasing part, we begin with an increase. When we finish the row with on the decreasing part, we begin with a decrease. To begin with a decrease, just turn your work, slip stitched, and skip the first triple crochet, slip stitch into the next 3 and into the chain 4 space, and begin working. So as you can see, one row begins with a decrease, one row begins with an increase, and this is how you have to go on for the length that you need if you want to create a rectangular shape. So now hope that with this idea, this main idea, you can create more than blankets. You can create triangular shawls, you can create rectangular shawls or scarves with a nice and fluffy texture, and you can create blouses, and I will show you how, not in this tutorial of course. Beautiful, colorful blouses. And I reveal my secret, because this is the project that I'm working at, a blouse with the corner to corner technique. So now you know what to expect for my next tutorial. 3 and 4, and this is the last, not the last square, because we don't want to stop at the same level. Only on the decreasing part we want to stop at the same level. Now we have to work one more square here on the top on the chain 4, and we want to begin with our flying square, because this is the increasing part. Okay, now hope it's all clear with this corner to corner technique with triple crochets, but actually it's the same thing as you work with the double crochet, only that we have we begin with chain 8 instead of chain 6, and our square is formed with the 4 triple crochets instead of 3 double crochets and we chain 4 instead of chain 3. So these are the difference. Okay, and of course when you want to stop the length, we just begin to decrease in each row to obtain 3, 2 and then 1 in my case, but of course if you want to, if you have more squares, to decrease them. So you will decrease in each row at the beginning of each row, not one decrease row and one increase row. Okay, so that's why I told you that to create the rectangular shape you have to mix the increase part with the decrease part, because actually is this the idea, because we increase at the beginning of one row and then we decrease at the beginning of the next row and so on, to maintain the same number of squares. Okay, so hope it's all clear and hope you will enjoy this technique with triple crochets corner to corner, and see you at the next tutorial. Bye bye.